A few moments later.
Wow! What a hole!
Episode 8 of Monarch has secret love children, a thirst for revenge, and a gratuitous advertisement for Disney's Epcot? But for reals, call me Gordon Ramsay because we've got some great theories cooking up. Clean your workspace, you're gonna get ants as we get into episode 8 of Monarch Legacy of Monsters. Things kick off with Shaw daydreaming about Keiko and Randa, which happens to be the same road trip mission from episode 1. This is all a stroll down memory lane, with him on a redemption arc because the Titan location that they're headed to is Kazakhstan, where Keiko supposedly perished to the Endoswarmers. I say supposedly because, she's got to be alive. A little tease for later in this breakdown. Duvall even suggests that there's easier, more accessible Titan locations that they can go to, but Shaw is locked in on seeing U2 at the Las Vegas Sphere. I don't know, it's a ridiculously large containment facility, as we viewers, of course, already know of this Titan location, but according to the map in Godzilla King of the Monsters, this is a rogue site. The closest documented site is the Manpupner rock formations in Russia. The series continues with the double live structure because Shaw in the 50s is, hunting these monsters to study them with the other two, while in present day is more of a revenge and destruction mission, blowing them to smithereens. Back in 1955, the Monarch trio has just lost funding because of the new brochacho, Hatch, appointed leader of their operation, so it's now their duty to prove with even the tiniest shred of evidence that these Titans actually exist, aside from Godzilla, that is. Keiko and Randa's job is mapping out every known or fabled or weird sighting that they have gathered in their research, and this eventually becomes the mysterious scribbled nonsensical map that was listed on the Monarch Unlocked website. We now know what all of this means, with some of the notes later becoming Titan locations that Monarch built outposts at, while others are like, the Ion Dragon myths from episode 2. I want to say that this is the same map Hiroshi was using to guide him in present day, as not only do Keiko and Randa have a bit of a bonding moment that's sure to later lead to them, becoming a couple, but they go over some of the research that they've gathered, dropping specific locations. Keiko mentioned that they should just completely get rid of the Siberian rumors due to poor sources, but funny enough, in a now unreachable website for Godzilla King of the Monsters, there was a Monarch timeline that specifically mentioned a 1959 Siberian mystery. Unfortunately, nothing was ever discovered at this site, abandoning the facility in the 1970s, probably after all of the Skull Island mumbo-jumbo. This same site later shows up in the Godzilla Aftershock graphic novel that's set between Godzilla 2014 and Godzilla King of the Monsters. There's a borehole there that they say, which honestly might be this picture in the Monarch archives, and later Dr. Emma Russell confronts Alan Jonah here, discovering a Muto egg chamber that is identical to the ones in the Philippines in 1999. So, Randa's Siberia rumor isn't 100% BS. Yucatan is another rumor, but the only Godzilla lore involving this location is from Godzilla 2000, where fragments of King Ghidorah's meteor broke off and landed. It's kinda sorta close to Rodan's location in King of the Monsters, but not exact. The biggest takeaway is Shaw spying on the pair, realizing he missed his shot with Keiko. Two of the bigger episode reveals are that Randa's crackpot theory about Hollow Earth gains even more evidence, with Keiko saying it's bigger in the inside than the out, meaning this is how the Titans are traveling across the globe without being detected. Obviously, we as viewers already know this, but nonetheless, it's interesting to see Randa's theory gain more credibility. While the second is Keiko's being revealed to be Hiroshi. She already had him, a single parent, so neither Randa or Shaw are his real father, potentially something that happened in the U.S. internment camps after World War II. This all tracks because Shaw very much talks about Hiroshi as a son, and I'm assuming that they both stepped in to kind of raise him after Keiko's unfortunate accident with the Endoswarmers. As for the ragtag Randa crew, they head to Monarch HQ, which is the same bullpen setup in the 50s, only with, modern tech and a heck of a lot more staff. The screen monitoring all of the gamma radiation spikes shows known Titan locations from King of the Monsters. For example, Isla de Mara, Machu Picchu, Rio de Janeiro, Morocco, Cambodia, China, and Japan. So this might be the start of the Monarch building their kind of containment facilities across the globe. The reason for all of these gamma spikes is because Shaw plugged up the Alaskan Rift, causing the hollow Earth radiation energy to spread to the other tunnels, briefly kind of blueprinted out in Godzilla vs. Kong with Walter Simmons. So they head to Tim's archive office to research up where the heck Shaw may be going. And I looked up, all of these longitude and latitudes on the whiteboard here, and all pointed to very close to the same location in the Indian Ocean. I haven't a damn clue how, where, why these are here, so please, if you know, let me know in the comments. However, when Kate reads up on the file about Keiko, they, of course, learn where to look for Shaw, but I find it interesting that it classifies Keiko as missing, presumed killed, meaning that they don't actually 100% know what happened to her, and I think the ending of this episode gives us a big hint to where she ended up. Anyway, they go to Verdugo with this information. She jokes about how the Goonies always deserved a sequel, which, funny enough, it did get one in the form of a Nintendo game. Obviously, that has nothing to do with this episode, so you're welcome, and I'm sorry, as Verdugo sends them on their way with a small team of Monarch operatives. The big friendly meetup in Kazakhstan is where some real shit goes down. As the Monarch crew slowly makes their way into the facility, there are discarded exoskeletons from the same endoswarmers back in the 50s. So these big bad boys are massive at this point, and spoiler, they are terrifying. Tim has the same reaction as Team Shaw did back in the 50s about the minimal radiation in this location, mentioning that this site was supposed to be uninhabitable for at least 1,000 years, but the endoswarmers absorbed nearly all of the radiation. Now, the hole is an entrance into Hollow Earth, which is where all of my theories begin. So we know this is straight into Hollow Earth because the giant bugs just crawl out later in this episode. But when Kate has the conversation with Shaw, she mentions he has been there, he has seen it. So this is no doubt a reference to this Operation Hourglass image on the Monarch Unlocked website, meaning in one of the remaining 2 episodes, we're going to see Shaw going into Hollow Earth. On top of that, all of this now explains his aging. Him being 90, but not looking like it, something that's been brought up multiple times in this series. Hollow Earth involves some sort of time dilation, meaning that time flows slower down in there. This explains his aging, and I am convinced that Keiko is going to be down in Hollow Earth, still alive, and only aged like a few weeks. Again, we never truly see her die. The Monarch files never specifically mention it. There's a pit to Hollow Earth, and slower aging is heavily implied down there. I'm betting that she's just down there studying creatures, essentially the Ant-Man of Hollow Earth. There's then an interesting religion versus science conversation about the harm or help Shaw is doing by blowing up all of the rifts, stating that Godzilla is essentially a Titan bouncer on Earth. Anytime a Titan emerges from Hollow Earth, Godzilla has to just yeet him back down there. He's actually our protector, and this whole idea of helping Godzilla. Close the bars early so Patrick Swayze can rest. Things end with young Shaw pulling some crafty strings to ensure his Monarch team is still funded, but has to tell Puckett that they didn't kill Godzilla. I think this will lead to whatever this Operation Hourglass is, probably Puckett wanting to obtain whatever energy Godzilla thrives on from this Hollow Earth. Heck, it could be the first time Shaw realizes that Keiko has survived the fall, especially when older Shaw mentions that Keiko was the first to jump in. Whereas present day shows Shaw's plan going completely sideways, resulting in the entire dome collapsing in, but not before Cora, Kate, and Shaw plummet into Hollow Earth. So them exploring and trying to find their way out is no doubt in the cards for the final 2 episodes. And again, I am saying that Keiko is down there. The whole episode 1 Endo Swarmer plummet to her death scene was a red herring, and she's going to be down there and be the only one to show them how to escape back to the surface. Shaw is probably responsible for the whole emergence event that Barnes and Verdugo were warning about too, but we'll get into that, down the road, if and when, or when and if it happens. That is episode 8 in the book, setting us up on hopefully some explosive final 2 episodes. What did you think? What sort of theories do you have? Is Keiko still alive down in Hollow Earth? Let me know anything and everything in the comments below. A new giveaway competition has started up, as we'll be giving away 3 more random 2023 Blu-ray movies on the 15th of January. And all you gotta do to get a chance of winning this is like this video, make sure to subscribe with notifications on, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on Monarch. We picked the comments at random, and the winners of our last giveaway are on screen right now. So if that's you, DM me on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. And if you haven't, check out all of my other social media accounts for my Shorts and Clips YouTube channel, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and new Retro Rewind channel in the description. I'll be back next week with episode 9, maybe an ending explained for Night Swim that has Wyatt Russell in it too, so Neato Crispito. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.